all that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure, very much like your real life.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the tune, and where can one find it?
Everybody knows. David Holmes Presents the Free Association, which is a slightly clumsy title, but
Sure.
they had an album, eponymous, I think, 2003. Not too difficult to find, that one. Use your noggin.
I will do. A lot of people are saying, Steve, keep us abreast of the newspapers, you know, take a sideways look at the newspapers.
There's not enough of that on the radio.
No, exactly. But I did pick up a copy of the News of the World earlier, you know, it's a rag and I don't condone it in any way. But on the cover, did you see it?
Horrible, isn't it?
Absolutely shocking.
There are singing out.
It was Keris Matthews, formerly of Catatonia, and who I believe had a fairly well thought of solo album of late. On the front of the News of the World, seemingly with her blessing, in her underwear, sort of coquettishly looking over one shoulder, arse quite visible, too, might be saying, on a family newspaper, and it's all about her rampant love for, is it Beppe from EastEnders? Oh, it's his brother, is it? Who is it? What's this one called?
That's Gianni, isn't it?
Mark Bannerman.
Oh,
but, yeah, so, I mean, I just don't know what happened to the woman, because she used to be quite a respected musical star, didn't she? And she's just got her Norks out, you know, in the News of the World. Well, you're rubbing your hand there to suggest money there, Dan. I mean, that seems like quite a heavy...
Well, I was appalled. I actually saw it, and I thought, what's she doing? But then I thought, if the News of the World wanted me in the arse on the front for a few quid, I'd probably do it.
Are you working for the News of the World? Get in touch. A lot of people like to see that those little tiny buns. Okay, so Steve Show, BBC Six Music, and we'll be back after the news with other stuff, including delving into the pigeonhole, of course, finding some new releases. Okay, bye. Steve Show, BBC Six Music with me, Stephen Merchant, and I know there you were singing along, Rufus, to Dogs Die in Hot Cars, I Love You Because I Have To. I have disappointing news that, according to their MySpace page, Dogs Die in Hot Cars have gone their separate ways, and there will not be a second album. And so, there we are.
That is a disappointment,
Yes,
Steve.
no,
You could
you're
have broken that to me off air.
I know, but I thought I should share it with the listeners as well. I imagine there's any number of Dog Dying Hot Cars fans out there weeping now into their Sunday roasts. They're having it late for some reason, I don't know why. And so anyway, yes, here we are back, the Steve Show, BBC Music with me, and we were talking earlier about the tabloid expose there on the News of the World, Keris exposing her posterior, and I've of course made it into tabloid land of late. Anyone who's picked up the recent copy of Heat magazine, let's hope they voted. I don't know if you've seen this, Harry. I imagine you're a man who likes to spend £1.65 to see some stars without makeup. And there we are. It's the grand final, and there are 4 faces there in Heat magazine's Weird Crush 2008. Heat magazine's Weird Crush grand final. The other contenders, so myself, I mean, why I have to be in the Weird Crush section? Why it couldn't just be tall people crushes or people with glasses crush? The other people include Matthew Wright from The Right Stuff, who is, I think he's creepy.
Yeah.
He looks like the sort of guy. I know this is obviously no reflection of Matthew Wright, but he looks like the sort of bloke who's quite charming, sort of when you meet him publicly, but you later discover he beats his wife. Do you know what I mean? He's got that look about him. I'm not saying Matthew Wright does.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that, but I'm saying he's got that look.
Yeah.
I think he's facially grotesque. I think there's something actually wrong with his face, because it doesn't seem to move. I mean, look at it. Oh,
I've got a bit of a weird crush on him. I don't mind telling you.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you vote?
I haven't voted. No, I didn't know about this, but I'm getting on the phone lines as soon as the show's over.
So, well, I'm afraid you can't, because frustratingly I only found out about this late in the day, so all entries must be in by 5 PM on Wednesday, it says. So,
Wednesday just gone.
Wednesday just gone, so...
Dan, you only like him because he looks like that bloke who used to beat you up.
Anyway, moving on.
Other contenders, alongside myself and Righty, include Anton Dubek from Strictly Come Dancing, who...
he looks a bit like Rob Brydon.
He looks exactly like Rob Brydon, but he seems to have a constant fixed grin. Have you noticed? Anton Dubek? I don't think he ever is not smiling. There's obviously me, and then there's also James May from Top Gear, the shaggy-haired guy who always looks to me like he not only test drives cars but sleeps in a car. And there's me as well. And I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think it was a shoo-in, frankly. I mean, I don't know, Sammy. You're a lady. Apparently, according to yourself, turned 21. Of those 4 faces there, which one would you vote for? Be honest, be brutal. I can handle it, just.
See, now, I'd say, to be completely hand-on-heart honest, you're the most good-looking of the 4.
Yeah, right.
I've got a soft spot for James May. I think he's probably my weird crush. There's just something really sweet and cuddly about him, and I don't know, and he won't run on television, and he's a respectable gent, and I'd probably go James May.
But should a man who's clearly, approaching his 50s be having hair like that?
But this is the thing, it's a weird crush.
Yeah.
and I think you're more acceptable and shouldn't be on the list.
Thank you very much indeed, at long last. She, for the first time in all this 6 months that she's been in the show, has actually proven her worth. That claim, and I appreciate it. Thank you
When do we hear the result?
I don't know. I'm assuming the results will come out any minute. I'm
You
sure
must be
there'll
on tenterhooks.
I'm on tenterhooks, and of course there'll be I'm assuming some kind of grand ceremony where the four of us are lined up in bathing costumes. It'd be like Miss World. Because someone asked me, someone asked me, they said, why did you put yourself in for it? I didn't put myself in for it. I was just chosen. I didn't. What will I do if I win this title? Anyway, there we are. So, Mr. Sad, I'm hoping that some listeners have voted for me, but who knows? Apparently, James May is the most attractive. That's what we discovered.
He's the most weird.
No, well,
That's fine.
all right.
Don't worry about it.
I'd say that Righty was the weirdest. Look at him. Crazy man.
Yeah, but he
I'll
couldn't
show
have
you
a
the
crush
back of
on him.
my
that's-
hand. It's the sort of thing a man who looks like him might say. Okay, so we have to move on because it's all about new music on this show. And of course, new music on this show is not necessarily about music that has just been released. It's about songs you're unfamiliar with, music that is new to you. Harry, what have you got for me?
Yeah, well, I'm playing a track this week by a band called Mercyland, and this is going to qualify as new music for a lot of people, because I went to do a bit of research this morning on them. I could only find 3 references to them on the internet, so they kind of disappeared without a trace. They came out of the Athens, Georgia scene in the mid, coming out of that scene, but they always overlook the Barbecue Killers and Porn Orchard as well. You know, it was a
I think
bubbling...
if Disneyland did a red light district, there would be a porn orchard.
Go scrumping. But yeah, so anyway, Mercyland with the band. The lead singer was David Barb, who went on to become the bassist in Sugar. This track is called Guessing Time Is Gone.
Six Music with me, Stephen Merchant, and my gang here on BBC Six Music, and that was the choice of Harry, who works in a bank normally, but doesn't stop him seeking out new music, and of course old music. Explain yourself, Harry, what was it?
That was called Guessing Time Is Gone by Mercyland. That's really difficult to get hold of. There was one album called No Feet on the Cowling. Someone's selling it on eBay, on LP if you want it, and there's another compilation called Spillage, but you ain't gonna find it, so listen back, somehow download it.
No, stop, now, get out.
But obviously use that poor quality recording as a thrust to make you go out and find the original.
Good, come back.
Cheers.
Can I
Excellent, you've
just
redeemed
say,
yourself.
Harry read all of that from what can only be described as a maroon, fake leather-bound notepad clearly stolen from a conference centre.
It's actual leather.
It's actual leather, I'm so
Sniff my
sorry.
binder.
Can I?
But it is stolen from a conference centre.
No.
Okay, you actually bought that.
That's top quality, actually. From a distance, not so much, but up close, I'm...
It's got a bit
top.
shiny with age, but...
I like it. I'm sorry that I did
Guys,
it.
let's
I
have this conversation
appreciate
later, can we? Because we're still on the radio, remember? I know you had a heavy night, Sammy, but please do
So
not
sorry.
drop your professional standards. You are 21 now, we expect more of you. You are a lady.
it. It's a sugar lull, I'm sorry.
Alright, each week, of course, we like to go into the pigeonhole, dig out some new music, stuff that's not yet been released, give our appraisal of it, for no real reason except to fill up some time on the radio before we go to the pub. And this week we are welcoming also James King, film reviewer extraordinaire. A little round of applause to the Steve Right Star.
Thank you.
James will be giving us his view on movies, past and present and future as well, like A Christmas Carol, is like Scrooge there.
This is a joke, isn't it? Because you know my musical taste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Don't say it like that.
No, let's come clean, because the honest truth is that although we can pretend here that we are just, a couple of professionals,
Yeah.
you and I have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, we go back a long way. This is the first time I think that we've professionally been involved on a radio station that people can listen to.
That's very true, yeah.
And you owe me much. I think we'd accept that.
That is actually very true.
That is true, isn't
Yeah,
it? You do
really
owe
is
me a
true,
great deal.
yeah.
I mean, I don't mean financially, I just mean kind of spiritually, you owe me
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost exclusively the reason you're now in radio.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also, of course, slept on my floor in my house for what appears to have been about a year.
It
On and
was.
off.
It was 2 batches of 6 months, and I did vary between sofa and floor depending on what kind of mood I was in.
Sure.
But yeah, and both around Christmas time. So now, now I'm not going to be sleeping before this Christmas. But now the festive season is upon us. I'm kind of getting that warm glow again, that nostalgic glow.
Good.
Of the last 2 Christmases when I was round Steve's pad.
Sadly, of course, now you're living happily with your girlfriend, so it's rather frustrating. I won't see you this Christmas.
I remember one Christmas I was wrapping presents on the floor in Steve's living room while he was on the phone trying to get Robert De Niro to star in Extras. I thought this is a great moment.
That's a hell of a call. I
Yeah.
don't think I was making that phone call.
I don't think you were on the phone
I think
to
I was
De
just
Niro,
trying to
but
impress
yeah.
you. It wasn't
Yeah.
me. I think we did all the work there. I was just pretending. Hello, could I speak to Robert De Niro, please? What people don't know, they obviously know you as a film reviewer, and you've obviously been a radio film reviewer now for some time, and occasional TV work, of course, lest we forget. I know that's the more important older cousin. But you're also a music fan, although,
Yeah.
of course, probably not Six Music fan.
This is the joke, right, isn't it? As I said, I thought, is this a joke? This is why I'm referring to it, because you know, Dan knows, I don't think Sammy knows, but I presume Rufus and Harry know as well, that I err more on the pop side.
Yeah.
In terms of musical taste.
As everyone knows, who knows you are the gayest straight man alive.
I mean, I was basically waiting for you to say that. Yeah, Jude has written it down, G-A-Y.
Jude has just written the word gay on a piece of paper.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I do own the new Girls Aloud album.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't deny it. I mean, but the thing is, I'm not doing it in any sort of kitsch, oh, look, I'm so ironic, tongue-in-cheek way. I'm genuinely doing it because I genuinely like it.
Did you sleep?
We went to see S Club 7 together, James.
We did go to see S Club 7 together when they were still S Club 7, as opposed to S Club as they were later on, you see. So,
that was fascinating.
Yeah.
You are, I imagine, the sort of man who camped outside HMV in a sleeping bag to get the new Kylie album.
Well, I mean, I was lucky enough actually to get the Kylie album from Kylie's sort of record company, which was very nice of them. But and I went to the premiere of her movie White Diamond. You know, when Olivier Martinez was on the screen, I booed. Boo! You know, but as I said, I'm not doing it some kind of joke. I genuinely like it.
No, I know you've got terrible taste. I know it's genuine. It is genuine. But anyway, listen, give us your opinion anyway of this slightly more credible music here on Six Music as we listen to tunes from the Pigeonhole. And you're almost certainly going to like this one. This is Supergrass. You know, it's not entirely left field. And a forthcoming single from them, Diamond Hoo-Ha Man. Free to download for 1 week come January 14th. That is the new single from Supergrass, Diamond Hoo-Ha Man. I noticed here on the promotional copy on the B-side there, Diamond Hoo-Ha Man instrumental, should you wish to sing along. So that's worth knowing.
Great.
And there we are. So Supergrass, I'm sure we've all got fond affection for Supergrass, but what does that new tune say to you, Sammy?
White Stripes, John Bon Jovi, Crescendo, yes.
Nice, she's kept it concise. Not entirely sure I knew what she meant, but we appreciate it. Harry, you love Supergrass, don't you?
Oh, I tell you what, that little Supergrass model village I built with them all going around on their bikes and stuff, being chased by the fuzz.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, but my problem is they've been going too long, and I lost interest a while ago. So to get me back now will require something so spectacular.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it.
That wasn't the one. I mean, it's not got any noodly jazz flute in it, Tiny Dan, but did you have a soft spot for that song anyway?
Yeah, weirdly, I've always liked Supergrass, even though they don't, you know, adhere to any of the tenets of Dan's rubbish taste. But I'm not with Harry. They've ploughed their own furrow with their sound, and that's more of the same, but it's still great.
It says here on the information that although they will be hitting the road in March next year, in the meantime, look out for a few shows from upcoming new band, the Diamond Hoo-Ha Men, in December and January. Brackets, hint, hint. So I don't know if you're not a child, then you would have seen through that.
I don't get it.
Suggests
I don't get it.
maybe the Grass are doing a couple of low-key gigs. Will you be rushing along to see them, Rufus?
Bands who give themselves... I've never quite got my head around the whole Gorillaz thing. And when Damon was given an award for something a few years ago, and he was told, you know, how does it feel to accept an award? I'm not accepting it. I'm accepting it on behalf of Gorillaz. Yeah, of course you are, yeah. I didn't like the song much either, so...
Ooh, dearie me. Well, maybe...
It.
You have indeed slammed it. Well, maybe you'll appreciate this next tune a little bit more. What can you tell me? Oh, sorry, I forgot. I wasn't even interested in James' and I completely forgot to ask.
I'm just reclining in my chair briefly, and you just forget about me.
Well, yeah, but you've got to step up to the bat, mate. That's what it's all about.
It just does nothing. It just does nothing to me whatsoever. I mean, it's like I'm kind of it's like I'm in a foreign country and I'm meeting the funniest person in, let's say, Romania, and they're telling me a joke in Romanian, and everyone else is in hysterics in the audience saying, this is brilliant, it's so funny. It's just a foreign language to me.
Right.
It means nothing to me.
Would it be better if in the video Gaz Coombs was wearing some golden hot pants dancing to a disco ball? Would that have...
No, I mean, no.
Okay, fine.
No.
Well, you've given your opinion, and it's a nonsense.
It would work for me.
Alright, so next up, we've only got time for a couple of tunes this week because we've got other stuff to cram in, but this is a tune called Christmas Number 1, and it's a group of, it's some Black Box Recorder teaming up